Welcome, everyone. Specifically, good evening, Internet, and welcome to this very exciting special post-Super Bowl episode of the Agent Carter Hangout, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Non-Pro, Agent Show Review Show. Yeah, that's what we're calling it from now on.
Openings.
Woo! Hey guys, say something.
Hello.
We may have lost everyone.
Woo, yeah.
No, there you are. But the theme music is intolerably loud on my end because we've done no practice. Okay, so welcome everyone to the show. This is I think our first episode in a few weeks, which explains why. Yeah, that explains why we're so unpolished. On the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. recap show, I'm Frank. I'm joined not at all in studio by AJ, James, and Matt from memory, because I'm not actually looking at the screen right now. I'm reading my script. How you guys doing?
Hello.
How you doing?
That's how the sausage is made, very poorly. On Non-Pro's TV Party, we do a live Google Plus Hangout series where we geek out about our favorite television shows and invite you all to join along. We're not just recapping TV, we have spent way too much time watching it. In the Blitzkrieg Button, I practiced that, Dooley travels to Germany to speak to a Nazi, and Carter recovers one of Stark's more dangerous weapons. Hey guys, what did you think of this episode? Quick blanket thoughts.
James seems like
I think James has one.
You know,
I loved this episode. As someone who was really kind of lukewarm on last week's episode, or 2 weeks ago's episode, I loved this episode. And I think the main reason is more so than the other episodes, this one really hounded in the central theme. And the central theme was deception, or the idea that not everything is what it seemed or what it presented to be. From Howard Stark and his relationship with Peggy to them to what his Blitzkrieg Button actually turned out to be, the way the scene opened with the way the show opened with Jarvis pretending to do a money laundering deal, even all the way down to the SSR agent bribing the former Nazi with a cyanide tablet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Every little bit of this episode had to do with deceiving people. And, Agent Carter has done loosely the central themes, but this one was like Game of Thrones level central theming. Like it just, every little beat, story-wise and visually, just hit this. And I ate that up.
That's very cool. I think the danger of reviewing genre television is that you get so caught up in did a good superhero thing happen, or did the meta plot go in the right direction, and then you miss things like good direction and screenwriting and pacing that out. Like you said, the central theme. I'll be honest, I don't even know if I noticed it while it was going on, but now that I think over it, yeah, it was pretty cool. How about the rest of you?
AJ looked like you were about to go.
No, yeah, I had to sneeze. I'm so sorry.
All right, let me go then. I'm with James 100%. I absolutely loved what happened with this episode. All the deception was great. Some really cool advancement of the story. I'm really interested to see what direction they're taking it. And one thing that wasn't mentioned was there was another side story with Sousa, which I thought was really good and actually kind of hit some interesting points about the time period that I don't think has been really brought up until now. But I'll get to that in a little bit.
Right. And if you're done almost sneezing, AJ, you have any quick words for us?
Yeah, I really liked the episode. Things kept moving and it kept flowing in a very entertaining way. Just kept things new every few minutes. Something new, something hidden is revealed. And I liked how competent everyone was. This wasn't a slapstick, sneaking around the back of a person who really can't see you anyway, Mr. Magoo sort of discovery. No, everyone was spot on. Everyone was really competent. I really liked the show. Yes, this episode.
Yeah. I think porn in this series. There's a lot of oh my god, these people really know what they're doing, which is sad because I think one of the reasons why it's so unusual is because it's lacking in other television, or a lot of other television. All right, so now that we've showered the show with praise and all the people who didn't like it turned off, I don't know why you'd be watching a Hangout show if you didn't like it. I will say that I kind of feel a little weird about Carter lately. I feel like maybe it's the way the episodes are being rolled out, but I feel like it's really losing its lead. 2 episodes in the beginning was kind of fun to get us hooked, and then there was a couple episodes, and then there was that big gap, and then there was another gap involving the State of the Union. I don't know. I'm worried that people have sort of relative to, I'll catch up with that eventually.
Well, I mean, technically the ratings support it. We're now at 4.6 or 4.7, which is officially like a million something lower ratings than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has relatively low ratings for ABC in general. Good thing is that this is a limited run series, so we'll get the whole thing. We don't have to worry about it like being canceled or whatever.
Right.
But we might not get to see more Agent Carter on television if this doesn't, pick up.
And it's a killer whenever something like this happens, and you can't just you don't want to be a scientist. You want it to be like a completely controlled experiment. What would happen if we did a post World War II spy thriller with a female lead? Just let's test that. But then you add all these other elements, like what will happen if we stop airing episodes for a long stretch? What'll happen when we just randomly drop off? It's very frustrating, but let's just talk about this one episode. So there's like a couple of cool beats. The one I want to talk about, because we're kind of rushed on time, is I actually want to talk about the captain. I believe he was captain, right? I lost the character's name already. The Dooley. I don't remember if he's a captain or not. But Dooley.
Chief Dooley.
Yeah, he has to. As part of the investigation, there's a scene where he goes to interview a Nazi prisoner of war, and it's cool because it's a nod to the World War II past of the series, the roots of the series. But I also, the entire time, I'm waiting for because of the misdirection, the whole point of this episode, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop for, Dooley to come, lean in and whisper Hail Hydra to the Nazi, the captor. Anybody else feel that way at all? Did anybody else feel like they were going to get a Hail Hydra out of this?
One thing that I saw a lot of people thought, and I almost got to it, but then I realized, no, that can't be. I thought, the whole entire thing, the fake out with the breath mint at the end. I thought some people thought that Dooley actually killed the guard, to make sure there were no witnesses or anything like that.
Oh.
But then I kind of I and other people realized, wait, that's kind of makes no sense because he's not the only guard in the whole entire building.
How many mints did he have?
You can see he had 4 or 5.
Yeah. No, everybody else was Hydra except for that one guard, and then the Nazi apparently.
I think I wasn't expecting any Hail Hydra, but mostly because I had read something I think before the series started saying that Hydra would not be a part of this series.
Oh, you guys gotta stop reading.
They wouldn't.
This is about
they
TV.
weren't going to repeat ground that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had already done. There was going to be something new. So I wasn't thinking that.
All right, but I did love that back and forth. It's interesting. I think there's something up with Dooley's character. Actually, I think I might know what it is, and I think it has something to do with Thompson's character, which is interesting. But because they are very much fans of each other, if you know what I mean, and that would be kind of cool in a weird way. Yeah, you know what I mean. Come on. Read between the lines. Huh? Anybody gonna say anything? Let me. All right. So, anyways, Dooley is. I like that entire sequence with the Nazi and the breath mint and the whole secret compartment to the watch. I like anything that's like standard espionage. So that's gonna be the one thing I really want to talk about, and I did. What about you guys? Do you have any particular scenes that sang to you?
Well, I'll get back to what I was talking about before, the little side story with Sousa trying to follow up on the case with the mysterious tip call the night that they found Stark's weapons, and when he finding that bum, which is in his interaction when he found out he was a vet, and it was kind of very bitter, uncomfortable, and heartbreaking. Sousa trying to connect with the guy being like a vet that has lost so much as well. But then Thompson comes in and is like, no, you don't. You just need to give him booze and food. I mean,
that
they
was-
don't really care about. No one cares about honor and your sacrifice. They just want to do what they need to survive and do what they want to do.
It's not.
Yeah.
I feel like it.
Go
I
on.
feel like it wasn't even that for me. It was, you know, the bum is just trying. He just wants to bury his pain. He doesn't want to confront the world that he came back to, you know, as compared to our hero there. He's not. He doesn't even want to have any part of it. You know, it's Sousa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is struggling to really find his place in the world and in the SSSR, and he just assumes that everyone else, is perceiving the world in that way, and a lot of people, and characteristic, as you said, Matt, of the time, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are burying themselves in the bottle and just trying to bury it all.
I have the line written out in my recap is I don't talk to cops, even pathetic ones. That's what the bum vet said to Sousa.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's freaking devastating. It's horrible. And yeah, and I think it's especially bad that Agent Thompson is the one who kind of is like, yeah, you're full of crap. None of this works. It's the liquor and the food. You're right. That was an amazing sequence and really interesting. The show does a good job for like the limited amount of time we have with these characters to build like complicated characters. Anybody else have a scene they want to talk about?
Just real quick, I kind of liked the scene where Agent Thompson was kind of leveling with Peggy Carter in a weird way. I mean, he goes to her and he's like, almost like very sentimental, very serious, being like, why would you do this? People are never going to take you seriously. I don't take you seriously, and I feel bad. I mean, it's such a dick thing, but he's so sincere that he just cannot understand why she would want to be in this field.
This is also like my favorite, one of my favorite scenes from the thing. I think it's interesting just because he had just come off that other scene, and I feel like he wants to relate, like he's almost ready to make that jump, but he can't because of the time he's in, because of the way,
You guys are humanizing a monster.
I think it was good, interesting. The two scenes with him really humanized him, and that was one of the things I was having a problem with. Is I really didn't like Thompson or many of the other, cast at the SSSR, and these
SSR.
two scenes really did it for me, and I think that was nice. I mean, I don't think he's a great guy or anything, but I think he's capable of doing some good things and making those leaps we want him to.
I feel like maybe if you knew him, you would think he was a great guy, which is very bothersome. Like, you get a viewpoint in most fiction where you could see like the cracks, but if you actually knew the person, you're like, hey, this guy's awesome. Gee Willikers.
Yeah, I think he grounds it in the time period very well.
Yeah.
He shows the popular opinion of the time period. He doesn't come across as a very nice person by our standards, and he's misogynist. We understand that, but I think he does a good job at relating us to the time period in which they are in.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny that you actually brought this scene up, because I was reading an interview about this just previous episode, and the interviewer actually brought up this entire scene, and the showrunners have said, like, yes, that scene is pretty significant with his character. So, any thoughts you have about it? I mean, you're supposed to be feeling that kind of way, because just the direction they're taking Thompson's character, like, these scenes were kind of a big turning point, and we're going to be seeing more of his development from this.
Yeah, I definitely got that impression. After this, I think we're definitely going to see more of this line of thinking. I'll jump in and say, since AJ took this scene from me, I'm going to say my favorite scene is still the neighbor. I don't know what's up with her, but she killed an assassin.
Wait, hold on.
Like,
Which
semi-automatic.
neighbor scene?
Revolver.
The soup in the purse, because that was a great one. But like later on, it was also pretty good. But
No, I still got to know what's up with this neighbor. Also part of the deception theme. But yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
they're really dragging that one out, and it's killing me.
I feel like if you feel like it's being dragged out because of the weird gaps in the episodes, I mean, we're
Yeah,
on
yeah,
what,
it's
episode
only been
4? What episode are we on? I think I mislabeled this
We
episode. I'll
are-
fix it later on.
Episode. No, this is episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and they really only introduced her last episode.
Yeah. So, I will just to wrap up the things we like before we talk about the Stark thing, and I just want to say that Carter's interaction, the fact that Carter is their Miss Moneypenny, you know what I mean? Like from James Bond, the Miss Moneypenny is just she's an exposition character. She exists chiefly, not entirely, but chiefly so that Bond can answer questions for her, because that way he'll tell the audience what's going on. Like when she shows up, that's a lot of what she does. Not always, and I'm sure I'm not a Bond expert, but that's basically a big role that characters like that provide. They're so that the macho hero or whatever can talk to somebody. And I like the way that in this series Carter does that. Like the lab people do like explain things to her as if she's just the secretary, as if she's just there for exposition, but she's also the person who's going to act on the information she gets. And that's kind of interesting. I just want to put that out there for you guys to think about.
That is super neat.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the big, I almost called it a MacGuffin, I guess, not quite. Stark's weapon. What was this major button that would knock out all the power and etc.? Very dangerous. Stark actually came back from hiding to get Peggy to steal it from the police lab. What do you guys think about that, the development?
I don't know. I'm touching my ear here a lot. I think it means it's not quite what it's said to be.
What do you? Wait,
This is what Jarvis did for like an hour.
Yeah,
Oh.
Jarvis's absurd tell.
I see.
You should never play poker.
Yeah, but
Oh
you know
my
what?
God.
You should also not tell people your tells if you're a spy.
I
Peggy.
don't even think it was a tell. I got it. He was intentionally trying to tell her something because
Yeah.
he definitely got more vigorous the longer the car ride went on.
Yeah,
All right.
like
But yeah, so I didn't know what it was going to be. I keep like gambling on it being Hulk blood. I don't know why, but it turned out to be it was some of Captain America's blood, and I thought that was like you got to be careful about doing too many head nods where you just feel like the entire thing is I wish Captain America were here. But you can't not acknowledge it. He was the first superhero that the world had ever seen effectively. And I love the idea that they used it in that way. I felt like it was better than the tie-ins we had seen in the first episode, which was mostly clips. The second episode, I love the radio play. I thought that was a great reference, and I love the way it was cut back and forth from the radio play and the actual action. But this one, as a sort of a prop about what these people are fighting for, I did enjoy it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I really thought that was a really neat plot point how they did it. But like really, I think the climax of it all, the final confrontation between Stark and Carter, was absolutely fantastic. And just the fact that like both sides had pretty decent arguments. I mean, obviously Stark is a pretty big dick, and like there's no doubt about it. He was definitely more in the wrong about it. But I mean, like the way that he talked about how some people don't like who your parents are or how you're raised, and like you do whatever you can to make your way to help you and yours. And like that's how it was back there. I mean, we talk about race issues today. Back then, race issues were very there were a lot different aspects to it in the 40s than they are now.
Yeah, it wasn't straightforward, and yeah, clearly, I don't know why I think Stark is Italian. I think that may be just a running gag. He may actually be in the comic books, but like being the wrong kind of white person was still a bad thing, and the fact that the senior Stark came up from like poor upbringing it's an interesting that the entire series seems to be about dealing with privilege and being the wrong type of person at the wrong time. And that's my sentence.
It's good.
That's a good sentence.
Should I just end my sentences with that? What's going on with this show? Yeah, I guess I'm just sort of trailing off genius thoughts. Like bomb.
Yeah, I think Matt hit it pretty spot on for me. I like the Stark stuff. I don't
Dude,
necessarily
right here. Why does Matt have to hit it really? All right, fine, James, continue.
I think you know, like I don't necessarily think Stark was wrong to be like, obviously we need to get Captain America's blood back because we don't know what anyone's gonna do with that. It was all the let's not tell anybody about it, particularly you know the person who cared about Captain America the most and you know my trusted friend and confidant. Let's trick her into doing it instead. That's much better.
So, what are you most looking forward to in the next few episodes?
Oh,
Because there's no more interruptions. I think we don't have another interruption.
I am so looking forward to the next episodes. I've seen they already have previews out for it, and its next episode is going to be crazy to say the least. I don't know. Is it kosher to talk about previews that are in circulation now?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Well, next
I bet.
All right. Well, next episode they're definitely talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. First off, they're bringing back the Howling Commandos.
Nice.
And the SSR is going to be doing field work, and it looks like we're going to see Thompson, Carter, and some of the other agents in action, and then we get to see Dum Dum and the rest of the Commandos. And also, they have been talking about it in the preview. We're going to get follow up on. I think her name's Dorothy or Dottie, the spy assassin.
Yeah.
And it's confirmed Black Widow project.
Oh, all right.
So they're going to Russia, I think.
I'm excited for all those things. Everything Matt said.
All right, that sounds really, really cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We would love to hear your feedback. If you'd like to, just subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/nonproductive, or press around because you're watching this video. That would be weird if you didn't know where we were. But yeah, so I cannot wait to find out what's happening with all these loose ends. I want to get back into watching our original S.H.I.E.L.D. team. I'm curious for the Inhumans, but no more interruptions. Agent Carter all the way. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see ya. Bye. I don't know why I did that voice. I'm sorry.